Okay, hi. I have some wicked exciting news. So I got good news, I got bad news. What do we want first? Okay. Hi guys. Merry Christmas. I'm gonna turn off the comments. How do I do that? Swipe to the left. Hi chat. Okay, cool. The chat is hidden, but I hope you're still listening. I can see that. Okay, yeah. The numbers indicate. Wait, the numbers indicate on the bottom how many viewers there are. And hopefully those are all real people and not just robots, fake, whatever. Okay. So Merry Christmas to me. Merry Christmas to me because my Kickstarter money was just approved. So I was hesitant to say thank you for an amount that I didn't know the number of. I was hesitant to say thank you for an amount that was unclear. So if somebody gives you 2 pairs of shoes, but they say it could be 3 or even 7, you're like, how do I say thank you for that if I don't know, right? So thank you for giving me 66,000 pairs of shoes. I want to take the time to say that number clearly and slowly because that's what it deserves that. I received I will receive momentarily I got an email that the funds are being transferred to my personal bank account. Just to be clear, because when there's money, mama, there needs to be clarity. So that's what I'm going to offer to you. Full transparency, full clarity. If anybody's ever interested in seeing my Hillary Clinton emails, mama, guess what? You can. And I'll make that information available in a way that's clear, clean, concise, and consistent with the truth. Alyssa. Okay, so $66,000 is going to be transferred to my bank account, and that's all from you guys. And that makes me, I'm not gonna cry because it just gets in the way of me being able to communicate, but it makes me want to cry. I'll cry about it later in my shower while I'm pulling the patch. And so that's really great. We had a wonderful show tonight. If you saw it, wonderful. If you didn't, who cares? And then I got to spend an evening with Thorgy, and that's TH with an orgy, and she felt, guess what, incredible, and looked even better. And then, let's see what else. Okay, so with the Kickstarter, I'm going to send out an email to the people who donated, but I would like everybody to be, maybe I'll be able to watch this part later and then write an email that actually makes sense. And that isn't all over the place and infested with ADD, because I have ADD, and guess what, who cares? So, or it's whatever, whatever. So now I know what my budget can be. The show is going to be, it's a live stage show. It's like going to the movies, but also going to the dance concert. No, because there's going to be very little dancing. Unfortunately, I can't afford dancers in that live stage show. I would love for that to happen, but as I've learned while traveling with Christmas Queens, we have 4 incredible, marvelous dancers. We got Mikey, we got Michael, we got Richie, we got Isaiah. And they're really wonderful guys, and they're excellent dancers, and we have, how could I even forget Rebecca Schweitzer, commonly referred to as Becca. Becca, who is our choreographer. Fabulous fucking woman. Literally a Christmas angel. Actually, the literal personification and manifestation of a Christmas angel in real life on earth. Yes, God. And she's wonderful and fabulous, and I love her. Also, so I know what it takes I know what is involved financially, emotionally, physically, medically, in the touring of human bodies who travel in space for a living. Dancers. Dancers are the soldiers of the art world. And soldiers need to be fed, housed with lots of dignity, lots of respect, lots of rest, food, water, and stimulation when they need it. So they're soldiers, and they need to be taken care of. They need to be taken care of. But they also need to work hard. When you're a soldier, you work hard and you're taken care of. That's the deal. We don't seem to have that last bit, the taken care of part. We don't really have that down too well. Although Beyonce takes care of her dancers, and that's a fact. That's a fact. I'm not Beyonce. So I don't have Beyonce money, so I can't have dancers. But what I will have the money from the Kickstarter is going towards the production of short films that are in the guise or in the that kind of look like a music video. They look like a music video in that, at least in the two that I have planned, there is no talking. There's just a musical track. So it is, for all intents and purposes, they are in fact music videos. Number one is called Love Stories from My Vagina Part 1. The second one is, spoiler alert, Love Stories from My Vagina Part 2. And the last one is, at this point, unclear, totally unclear actually. The ending, I actually have no idea how the show ends. I know it's gonna end on a cliffhanger, because I want to. I don't want to spoil this one because this is a good idea. I don't want to. I have a problem with letting my ideas loose out of my mouth before they're. It's like a premature baby, like actually a premature baby. It's a mental abortion, Mom. Just kidding. That was weird. So what I've learned tonight from the show is that I really like improv, and I'm really good at it. But the line between doing stand-up and making a speech, that middle way, because I believe that life is serious enough to listen to a speech, and also serious enough that we need to laugh. So I want to be able to straddle that line. Thank God I have good mobility in my hips for a nice straddle. I want to be able to straddle that line because I think it's important. I don't want to proselytize, but I also don't want to just ham it up. It's a combination of the two that I think is needed right now, actually. We need to laugh, but we also need to know what to do. Actually, what to do. People are... Okay, are you ready for a news flash? Watch this. Hi, I'm Barbara with News Flash News, and I'm here to tell you that things are very bad right now. You know, I wish Rachel Maddow has been saying that. I mean, and Keith Olbermann has been saying that, and the quote-unquote hashtag resistance will always tell you things are going down the tubes, Becky. But what can you do? Well, the show for me is what unfortunately, the show is not timely in the sense that I've been thinking about it for 10 years, and I was able to sum it up in a way that sounded peppy and snappy. But the thing about peppy and snappy is that peppy and snappy is current, and a current way to describe my show is "Help Me, I'm Dying." So that's the show of. I know that didn't make any sense. I know I'm all over the place. I know. The show is called "Help Me, I'm Dying" because I'm dying. I mean, literally. To be honest, I mean, I smoke. I feel too much. I feel too much. I cry all the time to myself, and but I also laugh almost. I laugh for like half the day. I laugh a lot. I like comedy, and so the show is going to be from my point of view as a person who hasn't ever felt like a man or a woman, who worked as a female impersonator of sorts, drag queen, a person who has literally traveled the world, except I have not traveled extensively through Asia or Africa, but Europe certainly. I've met, I don't know how many people, I mean, definitely thousands. At this point, definitely thousands, just even in meet and greet. So I actually know about people a lot more than the average person. So I'm taking that information and I'm using it to convey a message about what I think about love. The show's about love. It's a love story. I mean, the show's called Help Me, I'm Dying, and the cliched answer is that all you need is love. Well, what is love? Like Delight said, what is love? Bah, 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 bah. Yeah. How do you say delicious? How do you say de-lovely, et cetera, et cetera? I actually know love to be, I'm not going to spoil the whole fucking show, but like, love is, so RuPaul, start with RuPaul. How do I love someone else? So she says, what is her tagline is this? At the end of the show, every time she says this: if you can't love yourself, how in the hell are you going to love someone else? That's a cliche, right? But it's a cliche for a reason. because it has a significant kernel of truth within it. Significant kernel of truth. Maria Bamford has a joke that was like, maybe before you find the one, you have to learn how to be the one. That's a cliche. This is a psychobabble, Psych 101 cliche, because it's actually, well, it's not true in the sense, if you look at it this way, another cliche is, you find love, Margaret, the moment you stop looking. That's a great tweet if you're like, I don't know, Ayanla Van Zant or some shit. But what does that actually mean? It means, like, a very simple Occam's razor way is like, okay, how do I stop looking for love? Oh, I stay really busy. Okay, how do I get busy? This is coming at it from the back end, obviously. Real people who live real lives don't think about this stuff because they find love at work. They find love in the market. They find love in the fucking grocery store, because guess what they do? Talk to people, Brenda! They actually fucking talk to people. Now, if you're a trans woman, finding love is trickier, because guess why? Mama, there's like 2% of the population. There are more trans people than there. I don't know, but those figures are very fuzzy, obviously. But it's definitely less than 20, bitch. Definitely way less than 20% of the world's population identifies as trans. That is absolutely true. Fight me on it. Fight me. Because I know that somewhere between 6 and 12% of the population is known to be homosexual. And again, it's fuzzy because now that gender and sexual identity, the borders of those terms have become porous, much more porous, for better and for worse. Stay tuned for the worse coming at you at a later date. Love is very complicated because of all that, right? For trans women, it's hard to find love, so thank God for Craigslist. It's also hard to find work. And for a lot of trans folks, as I know, transvestite, not transgender, but transgender conception of gender for sure. I know as a transvestite, as a sissy faggot Mary Queen mama, finding work is tough because I'm like a girly sissy faggot, right? And so I put on girls' clothes to fight the world and be in the world and profit from the world, and it worked, up to a point. But now it's time for me to drop the drag and examine the drag in a way that is more thoughtful and relevant to the world at large, and not just Drag Race, because Drag Race is a microcosm of the world. It's a finger to the moon. It points at the moon. Drag Race is not the moon. So when you argue on Twitter, we have been over this. When you argue on Twitter about the world, guess what? The world doesn't change at all. The world changes on the ground where your feet and hands are. I just talked to a wonderful woman outside about this. Anywho, so going back to Drag Race, going back to the show. The show is about love, about the personal, and then about the political. How do you find love? How do you find love for yourself? Or how do you locate your truth in other people? And how do you use history to create or enrich or make sense of the narrative of your own life? This is going to sound crazy. This is where the comedy comes in, through Princess Diana. I am going to attempt, and this is the funny joke, and the joke about it is that it's not true, but you have to come to the show to see how it's true or not true. I believe, or I am going to explain to you, like a snake oil charlatan / psychic / Oda Brown impersonator, that, get ready for this, it's a tall tale, that a piece of Diana, Princess of Wales, when she died, like in Harry Potter, imagine that she had, her soul was Horcruxed, but W-H-O-R-E, crux, whore, like I'm a whore, hooker. If Diana had the good energy version of Voldemort's soul, like she said this, Voldemort did what? He broke up his soul into several pieces and hid them around town so that ain't nobody could kill him, because he was an evil bastard, and he knew that if he did evil, everybody would want to kill him. So he thought ahead like a chess player, and he said, okay, people are going to come after me left and right, and not just on Twitter, mama, in real life, in the forest, in the castle, and here and there. So how can I make myself, how can I be indestructible for anybody who knows how to use the dark arts or the light arts or whatever? He broke up his soul and hid the pieces. Now, Princess Diana died in a tragic car crash. And so in my fantasy world, and I know this is not real, So that's a very important distinction to make. I know the difference between real and not real, fantasy and reality, real life and stage life. In the stage life, in the stage world, imagination version of my brain, Princess Diana, when she died tragically, I was watching it on TV. A piece of her soul broke. It was a fiery car crash, right? So everywhere. Broke off and came into my body. Like a reincarnation, but still living, which makes it weirder and also makes it able for me to come up with a cool way that happened, because it's not really like a thing. So if you're a Reiki master, maybe you have a weird explanation for it or something, but I'm coming up with my own. That's the basis of the second video, and it's, oh my God, I'm excited. I'm excited to make these videos, and I'm excited to do the live portion of the stage. I'm not going to say any more about the videos because I don't want to spoil it for people who have donated. I don't want to spoil it on the people who haven't donated for the people who have. I'm also going to say that I'm very much looking forward to the Skype video sessions. I'm going to provide an array of options how you would like to proceed, and because you gave me $1,000 fucking dollars, bitch, you get to choose. I will, however, provide a rubric because that's efficient. If I leave it up to you, you could be Susan and you'd be like, I don't know what to do, and then I want to focus the conversation. It will be a therapy session, and the trick about therapy is that what people don't tell you, what Western therapists don't tell you, is that whenever the client is in the room, the therapist learns just as much, hold it, or if not more, than the client. And it's not necessarily about themselves, it's about that person. But guess what? If the therapist's mind is truly open in all directions, they learn about themselves through the client, obviously. Duh. It's like so stupid. But, and that's, a severe mental, that's not counting severe mental illness like illness. Things that involve, I'm going to kill myself, I'm going to murder people, or I'm going to shout at a bed until I pass out. Those things are unmanageable. But sadness and fear, those things are very manageable. And they're actually the pathway to truth and growth and evolution. So, I know this is all really boring, but so I just wanted to give an update on that. I also do want to share, although it's none of anybody's business, I suppose. Oh, just answer my own question. None of anybody's business. Okay. I have a tendency to overshare, so I'm learning when to shut up. And I'm going to do that right now. So I want to say happy holidays, Merry Christmas. I will definitely send out, I'm going on vacation, a much needed vacation for about 3 days. I don't really need much more than that. In which, it's not a vacation, obviously, because I'll be writing. I'm going to be writing lots of correspondence and a lot of the text, a guideline. I'm not interested in, I'm writing all the budgets. So most of the live part will be improv, but the money from the Kickstarter, now this is actual money. This is actual money that's going to be taxed by the government, okay? And that's going to go to provide a whole list of literally, this is the boring part. This is the these are the numbers. These are, if I was Gallagher, I'd be like, okay, we need 12 watermelons at every show. How much is that? How much is that going to cost, and who's going to bring them? That's what ends up on the sheet of paper. So I'll be compiling lists along with the help of my manager, David, who's a wonderful guy. And we will be figuring out how to procure all of these things that we need in order to produce these music videos, these music video short films, in the best possible way we can, because you deserve that as a viewer who has paid generously. And the people who paid the most, will receive the most gifts. Now, if you did donate $1,000, that's an enormous amount of money. But I don't care how much money you make because I don't have time to ask you that. So if you spend $1,000 and you didn't, and that was an unreasonable decision on your part financially, that responsibility is with you. Okay, I don't need to tell you that. So if you're not eating today because you donated $1,000, I'm not going to give you the $1,000 back. You had 30 days to come to that realization, so I'm just going to trust that you have plenty of food to eat and plenty of water to drink and a house over your head. In the rare odd instance that you don't have that, I'm gonna find it out because we're gonna Skype and I'm gonna see that you're living on the street, and I'm not gonna make fun of you, but I will. I'm gonna kind of probably make you feel bad because I'm gonna tell you something you don't want to hear, which is you shouldn't have fucking done that. But that's your lesson to learn, and that's personal responsibility. I'll say one last thing is that Drag Race fans, I've met almost all of them. That's not true, but many, if not most. And we need to toughen up. Michelle talked about it last night. I think about it all the time. This is going to be hard to hear, and it's because partly due to the fact that the word is misogynistic, because we don't value women as strong. That's not the truth. So just allow me the liberty of saying, stop being a fucking pussy, bitch. My friend Misery said it best. Misery is this incredible fucking Panamanian drag queen back in Boston. Legend. Undisputed legend. Been in the queen on the scene in Boston for 20 fucking years or so. She had braids down her back and long acrylic fucking nails on her back in the day. She would click-clack on the thing, and on a documentary I saw, she said, "You gotta be a man, girl." Perfect. In the drag world, everybody's a girl. But girls need to do what? Find their strength. So if you're a guy, girl, get your strength together, mama, because it's time to fight. And the thing is, for me, I fight with compassion, and that's different for me. Because I'm not a pussy. Not anymore. Because I'm literally afraid of nothing. I'm not afraid of dying. I'm a drug addict. I've been there. I've been I've been a drug addict. So what that meant for me is that I went to bed every other 3 nights when I wasn't high on crank, and I wanted to die. I wanted not to wake up. And when I woke up, I thought, really? Do I have to live today? Ugh, I don't have any drugs. Fuck. Rather die. Right. So that's a reality. That's a scenario. That's a motif that I am very well acquainted with. Thus, I'm not afraid of death. I also today, here's the twist though. I'm happy, therefore I want to live. I have a purpose. I have a calling. Just like Alaska, we've been bonding. We both share a calling. But I also live every day like I'm fucking Robin Williams in the moment. I know it's cheesy, but that dead poet shit is fucking true. So whatever. Dead Poet Society. Carpe diem, mom. Literally seize the fucking day. Because guess what? Another cliche. If you don't seize the day literally seizes you. Like, if you don't, today, now, to use a topical expression, Barb, Sharon Needles, if you don't grab the day, put this on a t-shirt, if you don't grab the day by the pussy, bitch, she gonna grab your pussy. I mean, literally that's fascism. So, all right. So thank you very much. I know that was all over the place, but at this point, if you're watching this Periscope, you're either a fan. If you're not a fan, girl, why are you watching? Go do something else. So thank you for the money. I solemnly swear, this is my right hand. I could do it with my left. We've decided that right is better for this. So I'm going to say right hand to God, because I believe in God. Stay tuned for that. Under penalty of perjury, in a court of law, I would say without any hesitation, without any trepidation, without any tomfoolery or shenanigans, that I intend to produce the best show that I am physically, emotionally, spiritually, and creatively possible of doing. It's going to involve a lot of help, so that's where I need to focus my energy. Doing what I can myself and then asking for help. And then here's the thing, paying people a fair market value for their help and including them in a show that is financially and creatively satisfying. So that's going to happen thanks to you. So thank you for the $66,000. I asked for 33 and I got double, which means you love me twice as much, and that makes me want to cry. I'm not going to. So thank you very much.